What is up, everybody? This is your boy AJ Trip coming live. A rapid reaction. The WWE Elimination Chamber just ended, and I have to say this was, for I think all standards, a pretty good elimination, a pretty good pay-per-view. I think it really was. I think all the matches were at the very least average, and I thought there was some great stories being told in most of the matches. I think I don't know why the crowd just started to shit on Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy, but kudos for Matt Hardy for kind of going along with it. You know, it just be with his woken persona. So. Yeah. But as we are now on this road to WrestleMania, we have, as they've been saying all night, we have one more stop in 2 weeks, Fastlane, the SmackDown pay-per-view. So, but as of right now, the Raw picture looks to be wide and open and everything like that. So, let's go ahead and let's recap what went down on tonight's Elimination Chamber. Let's start with the pre-show, the tag match, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson taking on the Miztourage. I thought this was somewhat good. I thought this something like this is what needs to happen. I'm surprised. I guess I understand why they didn't go with the Revival, because they just had a championship, but it just had a match with Gallows and Anderson. But I thought maybe the Revival should have been in the spot other than the Miztourage, but I can understand why you would want to, because if Gallows and Anderson and the Revival are going to keep doing this thing, and right now it might even be something where the Gallows and Anderson, the Revival, and the Bar and Sheamus, they're heading their way to WrestleMania, to and maybe even Titus Worldwide. All four of those tag teams are headed their way to WrestleMania in a tag match, but we'll have to wait and see. So, but what happened was that this was just an okay match. I thought it was good. I had it. Let's see, what did I have it as? Look at I think I had it as 3 stars. So it was like nothing spectacular, but it wasn't bad either, and it wasn't greatest of all time, stuff like that. But it was good. It is what was needed for, let's say, to kick off the show, right? Something to get the crowd entertained with someone popular like Gallows and Anderson going over the Miztourage. So that was in itself, I think, a great start to the beginnings. So of course, now that we have, the women have to do everything the men do, and I'm not mad at that. Good. So now we get 2 Elimination Chamber matches. So the first one is at the beginning, which actually they should have done for the Royal Rumble. They should have put the men's match at the beginning, especially if people like Seth Rollins and Cesaro and Sheamus were going to be in it. But that's neither here nor there. So it was the first elimination match, was the Raw elimination match, chamber match, and I thought this one was, again, they did a great job for probably, and this one was probably a lot easier to do than the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble, it's first of all, it's 30 women, and say, well, they have to be thrown over the top rope, so, and probably not like a lot of things are going on, so there's probably not a lot of what I'm trying to say is that there's more likely to be it not to be as good or first Royal Rumble as maybe the first Elimination Chamber match was, and this one was, I think, pretty. This one was pretty darn good. This Elimination Chamber match. So we started off with Bayley and Sonya Deville, and then third came in Mandy Rose, and they took down Bayley. And one of the things that the announcers were talking about, they kept saying that they needed to, Resolution needed to take out Bayley while they're hand. I actually thought maybe for a second that's what they were going to do. That's what was going to happen. They were going to take out, Bayley, and then have them beat up each other, one after another. But actually, what happens? They put Bailey down, then Sasha Banks comes in, and then now it's like this 2-on-4 type thing, and Mandy Rose then gets caught into the bank statement. She taps, so then it's just those three. Mickey James comes in. They fight for a little bit, and then Mickey James goes to the top of the cell and jumps down on Sonya Deville, pins her. So then she's out of it, and then was it? Yeah, I actually think it was Bailey. They do a combination where Sasha Banks does the backstabber on Mickey James, and then Bailey hits her with a Bailey, whatever, and then Mickey James is eliminated. So now it's Sasha Banks and Bailey against Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss comes in last, and they chased her, did all this thing, and at one point they chased her to the part, eventually one of the pods, and Sasha Banks is on top, and Bailey's trying to get up, and she kicks Bailey down, and then she goes and chases after Alexa Bliss, and then Bailey rams Sasha Banks into one of the turnbuckles, and they gonna. So this breakup is getting ready to happen. I thought it would happen tonight. It did not. Well, I thought it would happen tonight, but I knew there was also a possibility for it to happen this week and or next week. And I actually don't think it's not going to be what everybody thinks it is. Everybody thinks, that it's going to be Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks is going to turn on Bailey. But I think two things. One, obviously, I read a lot of stuff on the internet, and they're actually saying that there's that the person that would turn heel would be Bailey. And I would understand that. I think Bailey would turn heel. Bailey turning heel would be good. It might be good for her character, good to freshen up her. Don't make the same mistake you made with her that you've made with Cena and you made with Reigns. Don't have them play the plucky good all shucks baby face when that doesn't when she doesn't need to be if it's not working so to turn her heel and or in John Cena's case, in Justice Cena's case, they're just tired of it. But yeah, so I'm hoping that's the way it does go. Either tomorrow night on Raw or next week on Raw, Bailey would turn on Sasha Banks. I like to see that. So anyway, as we go back to the match, Alexa Bliss rolls up Bailey. She gets the victory, and then Alexa Bliss with a DDT from the top rope, a Hangsman DDT, defeats Sasha Banks. She goes on to WrestleMania, and Jesus Christ, she had me there for a little bit because the crowds they start chanting, "You deserve it, you deserve it." All of this and everything. She's kind of crying and things like that, and I thought for a minute this was kind of like in a real emotional moment. She was saying that anything can happen, and if you believe in things like that. Maybe kind of thinking maybe this was, and I just came thinking maybe it was me right now because they kept showing Sasha Banks, so maybe thinking maybe they were getting ready to do the double turn or anything like that, but then they had Alexa Bliss just do the whole thing where she says, "You're not gonna be better than me. You're not gonna be able to live your dreams out because of all that typical heel stuff." And they're just like, man, I mean, come on, let's stop with the Alexa Bliss heel. She's, she's okay at it, but she's obviously much better suited to be a babyface. So much better suited, and she really should be it. So, that just kind of pissed me off. So. But whatever. Like I said, this match was good. I gave it 4.5 stars. This is good. Which is going to be excellent. And I thought they did a really good job. So kudos to the ladies. Once again, I'm not sure what else is left for the ladies. They've done the Money in the Bank match. They've done Hell in a Cell. They've done Iron Man matches. They've done Royal Rumbles. They've done Elimination Chamber matches. like I said, there was a table match like between Becky and Becky and Alexa. So I don't know what's next for the women. What else can they do? I guess I guess you can, maybe you want to do 3 stages of hell. The 2 out of 3 falls match, 3 stages of hell. You can do that. I think you can. Maybe you can do. Jesus, yeah. Like I said, I don't know what's next. They gotta. You're done with any. I guess, and I guess not in a. Not in a it's not in like a specialty match form, but I guess the next thing that they have to conquer is to wrestle in the main event, the very last match at WrestleMania, and it's not going to happen this year because obviously it's Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, or it's if the rumors are true, John Cena versus The Undertaker. It's one of those 2 matches that are going on last. But yeah, I mean, it's perfect. If next year, right? If everything goes the way they're playing, next year the main event would be perfect, right? Asuka versus Ronda Rousey, or Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey, or Charlotte and Asuka and Ronda. So it could be anything. So that's probably the next frontier, I guess you could say, they have to conquer. But this has totally been great. And to think, everybody, this really started with the hashtag Give Divas a Chance. Remember, this started because of that. It was that match on Monday Night Raw 2 or 3 years ago. Before WrestleMania, maybe even 4 years ago. Think about it, maybe because it was AJ Lee, because it ended up being Paige and AJ Lee versus Nikki Bella, the Bella Twins, at WrestleMania, and they got like 20 minutes in that tag match. So, but it was like Natalia versus the Bella Twins or someone like that, and it was 3 minutes, and people went on Twitter after that on Monday Night Raw, said hashtag Give the Divas a Chance, and then Vince McMahon himself, I don't know if he tweeted, but it came from Vince McMahon's official Twitter account, and he says, "We've heard you," and he said something like that. "We've heard you. You told us. We've heard. We've listened. We'll do better." Hashtag Give Divas a Chance or something like that. But yeah, so it all started with that, and look what it's grown into now. There are no "We Want Puppies" chants, and there are no there's not a lot of I'm sure there'll be no more bra and panties matches. There'll be no more Super Bowl matches or whatever the hell that mud wrestling matches or anything like that. I'm sure for many reasons. I think the main reason is because none of these women are going to, say, okay, I'll just go along with it. I think most of these women are going to say, no, I'm not wrestling in no bowl of Jello. No, I'm not wrestling in a bra and panties match. No, I'm not doing a paddle on a pole match. No, I'll do a Singapore cane on a pole match, but I'm not doing a paddle on a pole match. So I think this is what you're usually going to see from these women. So I think it's pretty awesome. I really do. I think it's pretty awesome, and I think I think that also that also doesn't necessarily mean that you also can't understand how beautiful all these women are. I think there's not an unattractive woman on this roster. So you don't have to. You can admire the beauty of these women, and they don't need to be stripping down naked for you. So if you want that, go to a strip club. I like that. Whatever that dude on Twitter was talking about several months ago. That's what he said he wanted. So he can go fuck off somewhere. So but yeah. Anyway, that was that match. I went on a little rant there, but that was the Raw Women's Elimination Chamber match. Next was the Raw Tag match. The Bar and Titus Worldwide. I have no idea why they took Apollo last name away from him. I don't know why. Apollo Crews was okay. It was perfect. I understand that some people might say it's Apollo Creed. Some people have. I'm sure some people have done that. Maybe they call him Apollo Creed because of Rocky. But that's no reason to take away his name. He had a great catchphrase. Crews can't lose. That's a great name. And it took I don't know. It's just these people with one names, Cher and Madonna and Cesaro. It was Antonio Cesaro. Does Cesaro? I don't know. But they had an okay match. I gave it 3 stars. I gave it 3.25 star. I gave it 3.25 star, and again, it was just what it was. It was your typical former. I mean, they beat down on Apollo Crews. Titus O'Neil got the hot tag, and so it was tag team from down. Like it was kind of it was nothing bad about it, but it was nothing special. So as I say again, it doesn't bring down the pay-per-view in my mind any, but it was just there. It was just there. So then we go to Asuka and Nia Jax. I mean, this was great. This was great. Nia has improved so much. When they first called her up, she was I think she was still very green. And she was actually kind of sloppy. I think it's come to the point to where there were some people worrying about whether or not she could actually, injure some of the women. But she's done a great job. She's gotten better. She's great. And I like the way they took out this match. They were trying to. It's the way someone like someone like when you go against someone of Nia Jax's size and you're Asuka's size. That's the way you should win, with a quick roll up, with a quick victory, with a quick thing. I don't know if the submission victory should have worked or anything like that. So, but I thought this was good, and this was I don't think what they did a couple months ago on Raw. So I think some people were like, "Well, is this going to hurt their match in the future?" Because they were headed on the head course, for it. Was this going to hurt their match in the future? And no, I don't think it did. This match was. I put it down at 4 stars. I thought this was great. I thought the finish was great. Asuka win. I was kind of thinking, the way they had been talking and the way they things like that. They said, first of all, they had, well, here's the thing. And again, there's a rumor online saying that the match for the Raw Women's title is Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. That's the match. That's what they're rumored. So, I was thinking, they were saying Nia Jax wins, she's in the title match, and then there's also because of the other rumor that it's going to be Charlotte versus Asuka for the women's title. So I was thinking, so could they beat Asuka and then have Nia Jax be added to the match? So then they would do Nia Jax versus Asuka versus them, but then Asuka would say, no, I want one-on-one match. So I'm going to Charlotte, I'm going to SmackDown, and I'm challenging Charlotte for the title. I wonder if they could do that, but no, that didn't go down. Asuka did win, but boy, she took a beating afterwards. And that spot where someone burrows into the ring and break, that gets you every time. That's a spot that you always go, holy shit. I mean, it's incredible. So, great spot. Um, so it's going to see how good that actually is. And we will see what happens. So, um, so, um, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I thought for a minute I was looking here on Twitter and it's the phony Jim Ross account. It's the phony one, the parody account. He said Braun will be added to the match as a safety net due to the steroid scandal. Sauce it. So I don't know. I think that's yeah, I don't. I think that's crazy. I think the whole thing about we'll get to the steroid scandal when we get to the later match. But yeah, so Asuka beat Nia Jax. Nia Jax beat up Asuka after the thing, and it was pretty good. So good for them. And then we had Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt, and well, I don't know. I think there are times that I think that wrestling needs to be kind of the way wrestling is right now, knowing that most of the audience knows that it is predetermined, and most of the audience knows about everything that goes on backstage and everything and all the things that happen, knows about rumors and things like that, and it's smart and is keen on what happens and everything and how a lot of things are done and this and that. There's a part of me that always says that's what the business needed to go to continue to survive, so that people could look at it in a whole different spot. Then again, I also think that I'm not gonna go as far as Jim Cornette and say that it killed the business, but it really does like kill some enjoyment for other wrestling fans, and it just makes you look bad because they're sitting up and they're doing the whole beach ball thing again. They're chanting beach ball mania and things and they're chanting. I think they made a chant about paying child support because allegedly Braun and JoJo, and I think JoJo may even be pregnant. I'm not sure. So there's or maybe not for JoJo, but maybe for his wife who he cheated on with JoJo, and so I don't know. But so and then there was some other chants. They were playing beach ball and they're booing people who take away the beach balls, and it's just and it's and it's just they're just not into the match. They're just not, and they so and for whatever reason, I don't know why, but they're just not into it, and it is just kind of like because then you feel bad for the wrestlers for going out there trying to put on a performance for you, and you want to sit there and you want to play with beach balls. You want to do the fucking wave and things like that. And I will say this: the night after WrestleMania, it's almost now becoming a tradition. So where you have a crazy crowd and you get crazy chants and you get crazy things. So almost the night after WrestleMania, it's almost like okay, all right, that's all right. It's almost welcomed, like the first few times, there wasn't I wasn't down with it, but now that it's happened, and more importantly, that the WWE has accepted it. They have accepted that this is going to happen. So and they plan accordingly. Now, there have been a couple of times when they didn't want to do it, especially like when a couple of years ago to the women's title match, they got the crowd not going along. They got the women out there and they want to try to show love for the women, and they're up there they're chanting, they're doing like the Bailey chant, or they're chanting for Bailey, or they're singing somebody's theme song, and Charlotte's like, oh yeah, I'm trying to talk here, you know, so I'm trying to shoot for a minute before we get to the angle, and it's not so, and that's what this was like, crowd was just on the bullshit, so. And even to the point, I even say this all the time, like the crowd chants CM Punk. Chicago's always gonna chant CM Punk, and the WWE is ready for it. But really, there's no other city should be, no other place should be chanting CM Punk at this point. He's gone. He's probably 99% sure not going to come back. So you don't need to chant Chicago. At this point, it's his hometown. They're always going to chant. So you always have, so crowd always get ready. Always have, heels should always have a comeback. Faces should always have some type of quick remark to bring it back to the topic they would want to talk to, or something like that. So that's something like that. But it just was. So yeah, kind of a bad crowd tonight. Really, kind of a bad crowd. So now we get to the men's Elimination Chamber match, and we've got Cena, Reigns, Elias coming in last, and Strowman in the pods. And we start off with Miz, Miz, Balor, and Rollins, and then Cena comes in, and then Reigns comes in, and then Strowman comes in, and actually before Strowman comes in, Strowman comes in, and then Strowman takes out Miz, and then Elias comes in. However, Elias stays in his pod. They try to jump on Strowman, and Strowman pretty much demolished everybody. He pinned everybody. He made every elimination except the last elimination. That went to Reigns. Reigns did win, and he did win the WrestleMania. After the match, Braun Strowman, I guess, as they like to say, get his heat back or whatever, and or I guess they would say sent the crowd home happy, as he gave him 2 power slams and threw him into one of the pods, threw Roman Reigns to one of the pods. But I think that was just, it's I've said this plenty of times. It's just, it's kind of time. We all know what they want with Roman. We all know, what they want to do with Roman. So there shouldn't be this, there shouldn't be like this trolling, or there shouldn't be this other thing that, is this okay? So things need to, Roman Reigns. Let's face it, Roman Reigns should have won the Royal Rumble, but he didn't. Or if he wasn't going to win the Royal Rumble, don't have him be a part of the final, the final 2, where you make it seem like he's gonna win. All those ones are the ones that I think that get me, like they're trolling. They're trolling us, saying that, well, listen, here is what's gonna, we know that this is going to happen. But we're gonna send you another way. No, so I'm kind of tired of this, and kind of like that with the trolling and everything like that. So they just need to stop that. So I'm glad that they just went ahead and had Roman Reigns win tonight, and he'll go on to face Brock Lesnar, and hopefully there is no trolling, and hopefully there's nothing like that. Roman Reigns will win the Universal title at WrestleMania. That's it. That's that. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. And we'll just go on. So no, I mentioned earlier what a tweet I read from a parody Jim Ross account about them adding Braun Strowman to the match because of the steroid implications from Roman Reigns. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, there's a guy, he got pinched for performing enhancing drugs down in Florida, and this is some celebrity clients on his list, and one of them was Roman Reigns. That's allegedly. Allegedly, Roman Reigns is on like his name of this list of clients and things like that. And there's been some rumors out this past 7 to 10 days that his name will come out shortly. There will be proof that Roman Reigns did buy performance enhancing drugs from this guy. Even though Roman Reigns has said no, that's not true, and that's never happened. So, and then there's also another story that what it could be that even if it does happen, this could be his name. That could be the Adderall. That could be the Adderall that he took back in 2016. Yeah, the Adderall he took back in 2016 when he was suspended. When he had the WWE title, when he was suspended 30 days then for taking Adderall, and there were some things well, okay, so since he was already suspended for that if that's what comes out in this one, then he wouldn't have to serve another suspension, a 60-day suspension, because he already served a 30-day suspension for that one, and he could continue on to wrestle. So I don't know. Well, like I said, we'll all have to wait and see what goes on. I would say this: I have been a big supporter of Roman Reigns. I have been a big supporter of Roman Reigns, especially when people especially once people start hating him for no reason, and they start hating him for the wrong reasons. When you say that he can't wrestle, when obviously he can. When you say that he's not talented, when obviously he is, or anything like that. Or you hate him just because Vince likes him. You hate him just because your guy. It's not your guy. Something like that. If you want to say that he's been pushed down your throat, I might give you that, but that doesn't mean that you should hate him. If he's been pushed down, if he's been pushed down your throat, they see him as the next big. They see him as the guy that's going to take the reign and take it for what John Cena did from 2005 to 2015. Those 10 years. What John Cena did for those 10 years is what they want Roman to do from 2016 until 2026. And maybe even that's what they want. And so, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's a great thing. And also you can have him be a top guy and not have him be the champion. He'll be the champion and everything like that. There's no doubt about that. So he doesn't have to have the title, multiple times over those. He probably should, but he doesn't. He doesn't need to be, like John Cena where 16 times. He doesn't need like John Cena where he held the title for over a year or anything like that. Although you could do that if you're going to continue with the two titles. But that being said, if this is true, and he did buy performance enhancing drugs, and he did, and he did, lie. Then he did lie about it. I think that's probably his career. And I'm not talking about him being fired or anything like that. I'm not talking about him being fired or anything like that. But and I know you can say, well, they don't do it with Randy Orton. That's true. Randy Orton, his two stints didn't hamper him any. But I do think that it could be. I also think there's a difference. I also think that you went to a time with Randy when Randy that it was him and Cena and Batista and Edge, and really it was those four guys for a while, and that were the top guys, at least, and then so But this one you get, this and you can elevate. There's so much talent on this roster that you can elevate into that level that it wouldn't even be, it wouldn't even make it a difference. So, like I said, that could be his career as a top guy. He would probably have to do many jobs. He would have to do, many other, things, to get back into good graces with Vince McMahon and with Triple H and things like that. So, but hoping that it's not true, and hoping that this does. We are getting ready to see the start of a great career for Roman Reigns and a big time career and things like that. So that is that. So yeah. Oh, by the way, it was a 4-star match. I rated it as 4 stars. I thought it was pretty good. Slow throughout, but I thought it was still a good story. A good story was told and everything like that. So I wanted to look past it being a little bit slow and things like that, and giving it all the credit in the world. So yeah. So quickly recap: we had the Mr. Ross vs. Gallows Anderson on the pre-show. That was 3 stars. The Raw Women's Championship Elimination Chamber match, 4.5 stars. Raw Tag Team Title match, 3.25 stars. I had the Oscar vs. Nia Jax match, 4 stars. We had Hardy vs. Wyatt, 3 stars, and then we had the Men's Elimination Chamber match, 4 stars. So yeah, I thought this was a very good pay-per-view. In 2 weeks, we have Fastlane coming up. That should be good as well. I think we're figuring out, and then also by then, I think we will figure out the way each and what I'm trying to say. Well, we will figure out how each and everything is going to happen at WrestleMania. We would know like championship matches and other matches are going to happen and things like that. I think we're also gonna find out some there might even be a surprise here and too. I said this and I said this and I mean this. Don't be surprised. Do not be surprised if they do a bait and switch and they take the title off of AJ Styles and put it on someone like Dolph Ziggler or someone like Baron Corbin or someone like or any other person, and then they have that match. So that for not because of for any other reason than because they just want to make sure that nobody so that it doesn't take away from Reigns and Lesnar. I can very well see that. So be on the lookout for that. Alright, y'all. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you guys thought about tonight's Elimination Chamber match. Tell me what you guys hope for the future. Coming up in WrestleMania, where all these things go. I left out the stuff about Ronda Rousey. I certainly did because it wasn't a match, so I didn't have it rated or anything like that. But I thought this was a good start to what could be Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey going up against Triple H and Stephanie at WrestleMania. I think that could be good. It also could be The Rock. It could also be one of the guys. It also could be Seth Rollins because he doesn't have anything to do yet either. So Finn Balor as well. So it could be a lot of these guys. So we will have to wait and see. All right, everybody. That's it for me right now. This is your boy AJ Tripp signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.